Who knew that there'd be this many new releases coming out this week? We've had the Dude Perfect documentary, Dude Perfect Backstage Pass, which I reviewed. Capone. I reviewed The Platform, which came out a few months ago, but anyway. And then the two I'm covering in this video, The Wrong Missy and Scoob. Here we go. I was gonna do a video each, but I just, for The Wrong Missy, I don't have enough to say about that film. And Scoob, I just finished it like 20 minutes ago. Whew, not even. But we'll start off with that one because that's probably the one that's more popular right now. So Scoob is the new Scooby-Doo animated, 3D CGI animated Scooby-Doo film that has superheroes, Mark Wahlberg's character dabbing, Velma yelling toxic masculinity.
He's the one that started it. Toxic masculinity.
A dance scene at the end. Yeah, and a sky beam. There's a sky beam in this film. If you can't tell, I didn't like this film at all. It's actually the worst film I've seen this year, which is saying a lot because I really didn't like The Platform. But yeah, this is the worst movie I've seen this year. We'll start with the positives. I liked the voice. The voice acting is fine for the most part. Mark Wahlberg, I liked him. I liked his voice acting. I didn't like his character really, but he had some, just some of the things he said. I pictured big buff Mark Wahlberg saying this, and that just made me laugh. And whoever voiced Scooby was pretty good. Will Forte voiced Shaggy. He was okay, I guess. And Zac Efron, I think, voiced Fred. At times I could tell it was him, and other times I couldn't. And, Amanda Seyfried voiced Daphne, I think? Sounds right, and I don't know who voiced Velma. But for the most part, it's fine. It's not atrocious by any means. Oh, and Lucius Malfoy from Harry Potter voices the villain, Dick Dastrofield, something like that.
My friends call me Dick. Okay. No, I'm not a Rick. I'm a Dick with a D. Rick with a D. Dick. Rick. Dick.
Yeah, I'm not even joking. I don't remember his name. This movie was really bad. The plot of the movie is like, in the first 15 minutes, which are the best part of the movie, we see Shaggy adopt Scooby, and within that, there is this scene.
Okay then, what's his name?
I don't have one.
His name's Snacks.
What?
Snacks?
I mean, Scooby.
Middle name?
Doobie?
Last name?
Do.
And that scene reminds me of this scene from Solo.
What's your name, son?
Hunt.
What? Who are your people?
I don't have people. I'm alone.
Solo.
Yeah, so that part, that's okay. And then we kind of see them all meet up. But then Simon Cowell comes in and breaks up their friendship. And then Scooby and Shaggy go along board with like Mark Wahlberg, like these superheroes, stuff like that. And then the other three are like away, still doing other stuff. And this movie's like only an hour and a half. But it feels so much longer than that. As I said, I didn't like this film. The animation looked good. But the writing and so many of the jokes were so forced that it was really funny, not in the right way. I was laughing, not with them, but at them. But yeah, the character writing here was so bad and dumb, and the jokes, they weren't funny. As I said before, Mark Wahlberg's character dabbed here. Oh my god. This is a really embarrassing movie. Now, I don't really... For Scooby-Doo, I don't have a ton of memories with it. Now, I do have two. I remember watching Scooby-Doo Meets Batman. There's that there. And it must have been an episode or something like that. I tried to find it with these little blue things. That's what I remember. So, like, I still watch it. And I've seen the two live-action films from, like, 2002 or whatever. and I don't really remember that much about them, so I don't have anything to say about them. But this film was really bad. Just it wasn't. I can't say it's exactly boring because there's always something happening, but you're never invested in it, and it's so dumb. As I said, this is the worst film I've seen this year. I don't have really that much to say about it, but I don't recommend this film at all, especially paying for it. No, I didn't. I watched it on Soap today, but this film is. Don't watch it. I'm gonna give Scoob a D+. Who knew that a Happy Madison Productions Netflix film would be better than a Scooby-Doo movie? The Wrong Missy is the newest Happy Madison Productions Netflix film. It stars David Spade and Lauren Lapkus, and basically it tells the story of David Spade's character goes on this blind date with this really crazy girl played by Lauren Lapkus named Missy, and then he also switches bags with another Missy at an airport. They both miss their flights or whatever, and then he thinks he's texting her, but then he accidentally texts Lauren Lapkus's crazy Missy and invites her to this business meeting in Hawaii, I think, and then she's like his date, and yeah, this movie is crazy. And the fact that this movie is not the worst movie I've seen this year, it's kind of sad, not gonna lie. Now, this movie was not as bad as I thought it would be. It was by no means good. A lot of the time, as I kind of said before, I wasn't laughing with these characters. I wasn't like, oh, that's a good joke. I was kind of just laughing at it, and a lot of that is due to Lauren Lapkus's insane over-the-top performance, which at times sort of worked, but most of the time I was just like, okay, you're on way too much cocaine, you may overdose soon. Yeah, sure, I'll put that in. That wasn't really funny. I like David Spade in this movie for the most part. Now, I like his sarcastic humor like that. I love Tommy Boy. It's one of my favorite comedies from the 90s. And one of my guilty pleasure movies is The Benchwarmers, which I know is a bad movie, but I've seen it a ton, and I laugh at it. I haven't seen it in a while, though. And Grown Ups, even, I've seen it so many times to the point where I'm like, it's fine, I guess. It's okay. And I always like seeing him on screen. He's funny when you can tell that he's ad-libbing lines, and the script it's just terrible for the most part. The best thing about this film is someone who appears in 2 scenes in the movie.
Put that in my mouth, man?
Yeah, goes right in your mouth.
Rob Schneider. He plays this guy who, they go out on the boat at one part, and there's like sharks around, and he had his 3 fingers bit off by sharks, so he just has this in his one hand. And again, he's only in 2 scenes in the film, and I thought it was really funny here. Now, like, it's not one of those like great humor like Tommy Boy or whatever, but he was pretty funny for the 2 scenes he's in. I won't say what the other scene is. I know these reviews are terrible. I'm sorry. Check out my other reviews. They're a lot better. He was funny. He was really funny here. Jackie Sandler, Adam Sandler's wife, she's normally like has little parts in these Happy Madison films. Here she has a bigger part, and it just proves that she cannot act for shit. Oh, and the ending, the last 10 minutes or whatever, I guessed it. It's predictable. It happens in so many of these comedies. I won't spoil it if you want to see this film. It's like #1 in Canada on Netflix right now. I don't know why. I don't recommend watching this film. I forgot that I watched it. Like, I watched this maybe 2 nights ago, and I didn't put a thing up on Letterboxd. Normally I do. Just if I review it on YouTube, I write like a little short funny thing. I was just like, oh yeah, I watched this. But yeah, I didn't like this film, really. There's just, I never really got on board with it. Now, if you're someone who just wants to turn your brain off and watch a stupid comedy, you may like this movie. I didn't. I talked to Carter Anderson, the person I have a podcast with, even though we haven't uploaded a video in like a month. He said he had a pretty good time with it. Personally, me, I didn't, just because I found the movie too dumb, to the point where I wasn't laughing with these characters, I was laughing at them. The writing and the jokes, I'd say a solid 85% of them did not land. And although David Spade was pretty good here, like, he was better than what you'd expect and what the script gave him, Lauren Lapkus steals the show in good and bad ways. Her eyes literally pop out of her head like Jake Gyllenhaal in Nightcrawler. Rob Schneider was funny, and Nick Schwartzen, He had like, he was in the film a bit. He's like David Spade's friend, of course. And he had some lines where I watched this with my parents and we were just laughing kind of at him just because he played the same dumb, stupid character. But there are so many people in this film, like this one assistant guy who just, you see them appear in these Happy Madison productions. And although this is not the worst of the recent years, I still think the Sandy Wexler is, I watched that back in 2017 where I wasn't really more experienced with film and I even thought the film was bad then. This is not as bad as some of those films, but it's by no means a good film, and I don't recommend either of these movies. I'm gonna give The Wrong Missy a C-. This is a fun video. I know it's probably, these aren't really that good reviews. I'm just saying, well, a review is, I like this, I didn't like this. These are more jumbled. I didn't write something for these, actually. Normally now these are some of my recent reviews like Capone. I write them out and then kind of just read it off and have a basic idea, kind of like notes. But this one I didn't. I just want to sit here, talk here, and as I said, I didn't want to spoil these movies. If you want to watch them, you can, but I do not recommend them at all. And if you've seen either Scoob or The Wrong Missy, tell me what you thought in the comments down below, and I will see you guys next time, hopefully talking about better movies. Over and out.